back to Max Chats Touches Grass. I fear I lied to you today. Evidently, I'm not on grass or outside or, breathing fresh air. And that's because it is actually cold out today and I didn't bring a jacket. And the place I was gonna film in, there's a class happening like inside the room and I wanted to film right outside the room. And guys, like, I know social anxiety fears me, but like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to myself. I don't. No. So we're back in the studio. Oh my god, guys. We had some technical difficulties setting up. Let's not talk about it, okay? I'm doing my best here. Like, there's no Jade. So this is really just me trying out everything. Also, I feel like I'm not, like, the audio right now feels really crunchy and I can't tell what's going on. So I'm sorry if it is. There's a bunch of new equipment in here. We have, like, a new laptop. I don't know if these are necessarily new mics. I'm assuming they would be because we also got a new machine. I forgot what these are called, like where the audio goes through, audio transmitters. I think that's definitely not the word, but whatever. Yeah, like, we haven't, like, everything is new here, and I'm kind of scared to do everything because I just don't want to break anything. I asked the guy. I had to walk over to the technicians and I was like, hey, I kind of scared him. He was like sitting in his seat and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry, like, can I get your help? And he was like, yeah, of course. Like, so sorry, it was so awkward. That being said, welcome back. I kind of forgot how to talk into a mic. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't remember how I did this. Also, I'm really sorry if you hear like my breathing or like mouth noises. It's not intentional, guys. I'm just, I'm fighting. Also, ignore this. I got a blood test because I needed to. And then this was the only time I had to. So I was like, well, I'm doing it. Anyways, so for those of you who've never who's never listened to Max Chats Touches Grass, let me introduce you a little bit. Max Chats Touches Grass is basically a segment where I like to basically talk about everything I hate about the internet and what I'm like starting to realize about the internet, all these things. Specifically I wanted to do this outside. That being said, when the weather isn't good, like the first episode I did of this, it started like raining midway through and I was like, you know what? I'm not trying to damage any new equipment. So this is why I'm inside today. Also, just because, like, honestly, like, I haven't done this in so long. The social anxiety is like actually coming back, guys. Like, I can't do this. Yeah. Anyways. Right, so how was everyone's summer? I hope it was good. My summer was interesting to say the least. Like, bruv. Right, let's get into it. So I was here for like a month straight, and before I went back home to see my family. And the month before I went home, honestly, might have been like the most chronically online time I've ever been in my life. Like, I was everywhere. Like, I couldn't stop. Just like, I was on TikTok to the point where, like, this is so embarrassing. I probably shouldn't say this, but because this is me being real with you guys. I don't know how to explain this. You know when you're on an app so long that, or like you frequent an app so often that you end up getting the, what's it called? Like an imprint of it, like on your phone. Like, how do I explain it? Like, I basically had like the TikTok, like, plus sign and the home screen at the bottom of my phone for like at least a month because I was just on it for like so long because I had nothing else to do in my life, which, like, that's obviously not true. Like, I have a lot of things to do in my life. And yet I decided I am going to, you know, be on TikTok for 7 hours, basically a week. Oh my god. It was actually more than 7 hours. It was definitely like, had to be like 50 a week, which, you know what? As the chronically online friend, I'm like okay with it because at the end of the day, like, someone has to do it and it's gonna be me. Yes. Also, I keep forgetting I need to stop turning like my head away because I need to talk into the mic, but I'm not good at that. I'm not good at it. Anyways, and then I went home, and then I actually wasn't as online as I wanted to be when I was home, which I think in hindsight was a good thing, just because I needed that break, like that phone break. Ooh, ooh, guys. I was getting iPad face. Like I really was like developing iPad face so bad. I was like, it was bad. And then I traveled a bit. That was really fun. Got to see my best friends, got to see my family, got to just like hang around. Oh my god, there's like a week in January where I was just like wasn't on TikTok. And it was like really refreshing. And I was like, wait guys, I'm actually like I'm goaded. Like I'm actually goaded. And then I went back on it when I went back home and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But I've done something new, guys. I've tried to implement 1 hour screen time limit on my phone, which is still a lot of time. Don't get me wrong. Like an hour of TikTok is like, you know. That being said, it isn't enough for me, and I end up like being on it for like 2 hours a day. Like I just do like the 15-minute thing. But I know that's like obviously like what's the point of that? Like you're just like adding 15 minutes, blah blah blah. But honestly, for me, like I think it actually works out really well. I think knowing that I I'm like pressing that button consciously, knowing that I'm like extending it, it makes me want to be more engaged with that 15 minutes I'm on my phone, like extra. And then or the moment I turn off, I'm like, okay, you know what? Like I need to space like how much I'm on it. So I'm not taking any criticism about that because like I'm doing my best here. Okay, okay, and okay, yeah. But honestly, I've come to this realization where I think, guys, who would have thought the internet is actually horrible for you? Oh my god, oh my god. No, I'm joking. But I've honestly recently, I moved into a new place and stuff, and now that we have like, I have like a, I mean, I had a TV at my old place, but I just didn't use it because I don't really watch TV. Like I really want to, but I just like don't. But at my new place, like we have a proper TV and they have like all the applications on it, so you can like watch like YouTube, Netflix, whatever you have. Like guys, like I downloaded the ABC iView, no, yeah, ABC iView and like SBS on demand, and I was like, wait, guys, like I'm actually Australian. Like, what do you mean? Like I'm literally Australian. Like guys, like, Albo, give me like some residency before like, oh, election start or whatever. This I really hope that like no one I know no one listens to this in the first place, but if anyone is listening to this and you're like and you're Australian, I'm really sorry. Like elections, I'm scared for you guys. And I'm living here by choice. Like, babe. Anyways. But yeah, like honestly, I've been trying to at least watch more educational things recently. Like and that's what I realized I've like wanted to actually incorporate some sort of learning atmosphere into it because I realized that during uni, obviously you're learning stuff, but I also like hate it. I'm like, I'm burnt out. Why am I here? I hate uni, blah, 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 blah. But then when I'm out of uni, I'm like, what is my purpose? Like, I'm not learning anything. I'm not gaining any new information. So then this is actually like, I started following these groups of people on YouTube, like subscribing to them. And okay, like I don't remember all their names. I just remember Fern. That's like the big one I know. But basically they do like I mean it depends, short videos and long videos. I was watching their like 40-minute long videos when I was back at home, like with my family. And every time I would watch anything, my parents would come in and be like, what the hell are you watching? Why are you watching this? And like they would be like, are you serious? Like this is so boring. I'm like, no, but it's so good. Like, what do you mean? Like my dad would come and sit down with me. He's like, this is what you're watching. And I'm like, but I like it's good. It's good, I swear. Um but yeah, like I've just been really into watching like educational videos, and like I've actually really enjoyed learning it. Like my roommate would come sit down next to me. She's like, "What the hell are you watching?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it." Like last night. Oh my god, last night, guys, I had the best nap of my life. But before I had the best nap of my life, I was watching this video that was like, "Why were the Shrek mugs glasses recalled?" And it was literally because of lead poisoning or like zinc. It's called caladium. I think that's what the I'm not a science person. I do media comms, guys. Like, let's get this clear. But if I remember correctly, the um, name of the chemical, yeah, the chemical was called caladium. Caladium. I'm not. You know what, guys? I have a laptop in front of me, so I'm gonna verify it. But that being said, still not a science student. Oh my god, I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing a science-based thing. Oh, I'm joking. Caladium. What the hell? What is going on? Is the chemical? Okay, wait. This is great. What chemical was in the Shrek McDonald's cup? That's literally what it was. K cadmium. That's what it was. Cadmium. Okay, so I was on the right track. Not caladium, but hey, if you're science, you know, like metal cadmium, basically. And it could give like that can like induce cancer in you. But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm watching these videos and I'm actually like, gaining a lot of insight. I'm learning about these things. Like obviously there are things that like I probably shouldn't be watching. You know when they're talking about like murders and stuff. And I'm like I try not to because it's like I'm not trying to glorify like true crime and all these things. But you know if it's a 40-minute long video, I'm gonna watch it. And like recently I just started watching on ABC iView. Nemesis, I think is what it's called. Nemesis, ABC iView. Which was Nemesis, which is about the 2013 and 2022 coalition government. Because oh my god, you guys, okay, this is like a piece of advice that I recommend to anybody listening. I would highly, highly recommend that ask your toots for like recs, like when you're in class and stuff, and they talk to you about blah blah blah, like oh this is a really good show, whatever blah blah. And obviously, like I'm not from here, so a lot of these things I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know what's going on. Um, and they'll give me some of the best like articles or the best like in like TV shows to watch, and like they're really really good. For example, like Nemesis, which is about the coalition government. Like, I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong. It's like you're getting all this like input. I mean, I have my political views, obviously, but like I still find it very very interesting because you're hearing like Tony Abbott decided to not be a part of the series, which interesting considering he's like oh my god they literally showed the thing being like Tony Abbott like didn't want to be part of the series. He's the first prime minister to reject like an ABC interview in like 40 years or something. I was like oh tea. Oh that was too loud, sorry, occasion there. But like what are the other names? Like Turnbull was on it, ScoMo was also on it, is that his name? Yeah, it's ScoMo. Right. Sorry, I love doing that with my voice. It's like really fun, but it's really annoying to people. But I'm on the second episode right now. Like I'm fully into it. Yesterday, uh, guys, I'm actually going through it. So I've started to like, you know, and I've moved out. Like I have a gym membership now. Like guys, I'm literally like, I'm living. Like I'm adulting. I'm fully embracing the life that was meant for me. Like this was who I was supposed to be. And because of that, obviously I have to eat healthy because like girl, like what's the point of going to the gym if I'm gonna eat like absolute trash every day? That being said, I like really, really, really like really craving a lot of things. I don't know what's going on this episode. I think I kind of forgot how to host an episode and now I'm just kind of like saying stuff just because I'm like trying to get you guys engaged. But actually, oh my god, I know what I'm gonna talk about. Oh my god, guys. Books. I need books. I need to put myself back into books because I keep buying books and not reading them. Not in this like not like in the physical sense. Like I haven't done this in actually like maybe like a month, so it's actually not that bad. But I have bought that was really loud. Sorry. I've bought quite a lot of books. So okay, this is what I'm currently reading. Okay, because I'm in like I'm between like 4 or 5 books right now. Like it's kind of bad to the point where I'm like, girl, like come on, like, what are you doing? So the books I'm currently reading, I started In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, the one who wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's, like last year. Oh my god, I got it as a like because we're talking about Truman Capote in the sense of like you know like if it's like verified reading stuff like that in like one of my journalism classes, like one of the fundamentals ones, and I was like, you know what? I saw that Dimmicks. I was like, I'm gonna get it. Like, what's the harm in getting it? Like, I think it'll be a really good book to read, and like, you know, I'm learning about it in class. Like, it's perfect. I bought it. I read maybe the first like 20. No, it's like probably 40 pages. It's like a 200-page book, and you know, I can get through. I am a reader. Like, it's bad. Like, I can finish a book in a day, like a 500-page book in a day, because it's like, you know, if it gets me that good, I will do it. Like, I will skip my meals to like read this book because it's just like I love reading. This book though I haven't touched in almost a year. Like I'm not even joking. It's not that it's a bad book, but I think that the way he writes is number one. It's I have iPad brain too. Like guys, I have iPad face and iPad brain. Like I need the book to be simple for me to comprehend, which is why I read a lot of young adult because It's very simple, and I'm like a little bit. But like for example, I'll get like I was reading his book, and I have to reread pages because I just don't get what's going on. My other mistake is that when I originally bought that book, I ended up buying. I think it's like 600 pages. It's a 600 page book about the Columbine shooting, which I I'm not fascinated by the Columbine shooting and like the oh like I want to know everything blah blah blah. No, I'm fascinated in the sense that it's like I think it's a very very devastating thing that happened, and it's important to learn about it, especially because I don't think can you guys, oh my god, when was the Columbine shoot? I don't think I was alive. Yeah, 1999. I definitely wasn't alive. Definitely wasn't alive. But I think it's really. Oh my god. Sorry, I like need to angle this better. Um, but I think it's important to learn about it, especially like right now what's happening in the U.S. with all the politics happening there, and it's just important to kind of learn about everything going on. That being said, I'm not trying to glorify it. I'm definitely just trying to understand what happened because I think that school shootings are a very, very traumatic experience. And it's important to learn about what you can do if you're ever in a situation and how you can, like, how people have processed it. That being said, I haven't touched the book at all. It is currently sitting in my shelf. I have books that I've bought from a book festival I went to in 2022, like of May 2022, back when I was still in high school. Have not touched it. And it's like I've told myself, I'm like, I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna read this book. Haven't. And I think now that um uni started, uni started, I just can't bring myself to start them because I don't want to get emotionally invested into a book that I'm not able to put my entire heart into. If that makes sense. And I bought a Kindle when I first moved here back in 2023 because your girl was trying to get back into reading. Like when I was in high school, oh my god, I did not touch a book with any of my dirty little fingers, which like I'm kind of sad about because I really did love reading and I thought like I really excuse me, I really liked reading and I think that like for me reading was just like it was an escape, not an escape from anything bad, it was just an escape, like to have my life. Um and on my Kindle I will okay, I also have like Kindle Unlimited. Then again, I don't support Amazon guys, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Um but Kindle Unlimited sometimes will give you the most like funky books. Like I I'm not gonna list you what I have on my Kindle because honestly, like girl, like no one needs to know. But I have it with me, so I might read it to you really quickly to tell you guys what I actually have. I know I'm like weirdly in and out of frame. Like just give me a second. Just give me a reason. Sorry. This is my Kindle, the blue case. Ignore the number on it. Put it there. I need to put it somewhere, and I didn't want it to be on me anymore. Just give me a reason, just a little. It's enough. Just a second when I've broken, just been. Can learn to love again. Sorry. Oh, I need to charge it at 40%. So these are the books. Like I just, I'm like these are the books, and I don't even read them to you. Um, guys, like I read the Icebreaker series. Let's not talk about it, okay? Like I was naive. And this is the thing. Okay, for example, like book talk, for example. I know it's not a great place. Like I was on 2020 book talk. Like I was sat, I was present. I was at every premiere. I was there waiting for the new video to drop. Like I followed all my favorite booktubers and like like if I lived in a country where book signings were a thing, girl, I would have been sat front and center. Like that would have been me. Like I also had my Colleen Hoover phase, which hey, I'm not proud about it, but I can acknowledge that it has taught me about what readings I do and don't like, and it has actually like helped me grow into the person I am to recognize and be a little bit more critical with what I'm reading, especially in my academic readings. Because guys, I hate academic readings so much. That being said, like I've read some crazy books. Like some of these things I cannot say to your people's faces because these are actually just embarrassing. Or like I read Abby Jimenez's Just for the Summer during winter break, a summer break. Sorry, Northern Hemisphere vibes. Anyways, for summer break, and I read it, and I was like, oh, this is really cute. Like I read it in a couple of days, but it definitely was like a. It didn't satisfy my craving. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I started, oh my god, like Like I saw like I have some horrible books I got off Kindle Unlimited that I really don't like. I really like they're DNF'd and I'm not going to continue them because I really don't like them. I just don't think they're good. Or I got like because it's Kindle Unlimited. Obviously, I'm trying to utilize that as much as I can. I'll buy like the second book to like, the series, like the sequel. Or like the summer I turned pretty, I bought the 3-part collection because that actually, guys, some Anthea lore because you just deserve it. Um, the summer I turned pretty was like I like that entire trilogy. Sorry, that and like Jenny Han specifically. Her and John Green were the two people that got me into reading. Which okay, you know what? Let's talk about it. Okay, before them it was stuff like oh my god, what was his name? Tom Jones or something. Okay, for context, I went to a British esque middle slash high school when I was like living in different countries. Tom, I think his name's Tom Blythe. Low key, Blythe. Well, no, Tom Blythe is actually an actress. Tom Blythe is, you know what? Let's not talk about it. Tom Gates. Okay, that's the name. Sorry, Tom Blythe. Oh, so attractive. Anyways, um, I went to like a predominantly British like esque high school. It wasn't that like it was like obviously a British school necessarily. I did different curriculum, but a lot of the teachers are British or had British backgrounds. So a lot of the books I was reading were you know like from like the Scholastic Fair and stuff. Like I that was kind of what I knew to be true. Like and I can tell you like I was reading. Oh my god, like I was obsessed with like Thea Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. There was these 3 brothers. I don't remember their names, but this was like in the fundamental reading times when like you were in like year 1 or year 2, no, year 3ish, that area time. And it was like these 3 brothers, and it was supposed to help you like learn and become better at like English and like understanding like basic sentence structure and stuff like that. Like Tom Gates, Horrid Henry, Big Nate, like the comic books. Could you tell I had a brother and that like I would just get all of his like pass me downs? No, but like those books like or like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, like I was so or Dork Diaries for example, like I was so into those books that I really just like at first I wasn't really into the big romance thing. I was like, no, like I want to see fighting. I want to see like cartoons in the books, blah blah blah. Like or like even Jackie Wilson, the one who honestly like her writing was insane. Like she just had some. No, Jackie Wilson's the singer. Jacqueline Wilson, I think. Jacqueline. Yeah, Jacqueline Wilson. She had some crazy. Like I realized after I grew up that all these books were actually about like they're children's literature, but they actually were like the like talking about like very heavy topics if you were older and like you could actually see through the lines. But I mean, don't get me wrong, like she had some beautiful books. It was just like, oh wow, like But I was reading a lot of these books that were like just for like not heavy, but it was just kind of like bad kids in the books, you could say, like just very rebellious kids, like Horrid Henry. Honestly, that I could have done without that. Like, honest, I think if my parents just like said, "No, you're not reading this," I would be like, "Oh, okay," because like that gave me some ideas. Or like Judy Moody, for example, like all these kids who are just like, okay, just like troublemakers, and I was not. I was a very big goody two shoes, so much to the point where, guys, like, I was a snitch. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a snitch anymore, but I was a snitch, unfortunately. Um, yeah. Anyways, back to the books. And then I hit like developmental years. I hit like 7th grade, and oh my god, we had this new librarian. His name was Mr. Ben. He was super nice. He was British as well. Oh, that was okay. If there's this is something. This is another piece of lore. I wanted to be a librarian for so long. Like I genuinely was like, if I was, because I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and like even now I'm kind of just like I don't know what to do with my life. But I really like I love the library. Like all the librarians I've had. I mean, not including here because I think that university library is very different. But in all my high schools, like my libraries and like my middle school and my elementary schools, like I was best friends with librarian because they like I would always ask them to order books and stuff like that. And like, oh, I'm gonna start crying, guys. I love the library so much, and I think that we need to give more appreciation to librarians and to like all the people who like especially like local libraries here. Like I don't obviously like I'm like no, I'm not from here. I don't really know how it works here, but like a local library can make or break a child, like that sounds really weird, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but like if you're young, like I mean, okay, no one here is young, but if you have a sibling who's quite young and like obviously they're just like they're growing up and they're trying to read books. Also, I'm sorry, that was disgusting. I would highly recommend just going to the library with them and like reading some like young adult like fiction or like because I know it's embarrassing and I know like you read and you're like, oh, this is so cringe, but it it lets you feel like a child again. It lets you feel like you're allowed to enjoy these things. Because at the end of the day, I'm a 19-year-old child. Like I'm not, girl. Like I'm turning 20 this year. Guys, I swear I'm not old. I swear, I swear. I say this as if like not like I'm not one of the youngest people in like MACS. Anyways, I'm sorry. I need to stop doing that. But I'm actually getting really emotional about like libraries and stuff because I miss it. And like the summer I turned pretty by Jenny Han and like oh my god, she had these other. Oh, it's a good thing that I'm doing this episode in here because this would have been really bad if I was on my phone. Jenny Han, summer I turned pretty. I wasn't in. I didn't know about 12 the Boys I Love before because that just wasn't a thing where I was. Shug. Oh my god, Shug. Yeah, yeah. Can you tell I've been watching a lot of like Mike's Shug, I was really into as well. I don't remember what it's about. I think Fire with Fire. I read the first one, or like Burn for Burn. Yeah, like that trilogy. I think I only read Burn for Burn. I didn't read the other two. But like these books, like they had a chokehold on. Like oh my god, I made Mr. Ben, the librarian, buy all three books for Summer I Turned Pretty, and so I like would check them out regularly. Like I would get the first one, and he'd be like, "Okay, like you have until like next week." I was like, "Oh no, I'll give it to you on like Thursday." He's like, "Okay." Like I would check them out like periodically to the point where like he knew he was like, "Okay, yeah, Anthea wants this for the six probably," or like that one, or like the John Green books. Like okay, obviously like don't get me wrong, John Green. I love him as a person, but he had some questionable books. Like I didn't read The Fault in Our Stars because Loki, I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. But like looking for Alaska, I was like really into Paper Towns, An Abundance of Catherines, Will Grayson, Let It Snow. Oh my god, Let It Snow to me was like godsend. And then I saw they made a Netflix movie, and I'm like kind of turned off by it, but whatever. I like tried to watch it, and it was just kind of weird. I just like I didn't. It was like a little too like hyper realistic, and I was like, why do these look like people? Like they're supposed to be like movies. Like what the. Mm. And then I bought Tortoise All the Way Down, and then I didn't realize it was about like not tuberculosis. I didn't. I honestly couldn't get into it because I think it was just because it's not like as other things. It's very. It talks about like OCD and anxiety, and there wasn't. I think there wasn't any like. There wasn't anything in it in the beginning that like really captured me in because I think the way he started writing it was just a little bit too confrontational for me at the time when I first bought this book, and because like this came out in what 2017, I was 12. I think I bought it when I was like 12 or 13, and I didn't understand like anxiety or OCD or anything. So like for me, I was like, whoa, 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 let's calm down, Mr. John Green. Like let's calm down. I cannot read this, but I really want to give it a try again. But I also know that like that's the thing, he writes things. He writes in a very, very like nostalgic way. Oh my god, I'll open a book. But anyways, let me go through my Kindle right now because and then there's also this book. Oh my god, so there's this author called Tashi Boon. I've never been able to say her last name, and I don't want to mess it up. Yan, I believe that's how you say it. I'm really sorry, but she wrote this book called Counting Down with You, which girl, I ate it up. It was so good. Um, I loved it. I don't know why I did, but like I thought it was so good. And it came out in 2021. I read it in 2021. I was like, boom, yeah, done. And then I was like, when is she coming out with the next one? Blah blah blah. And then she came out with a show for two the year after, which was about because remember how Tom Holland talked about how he went to like a high school, to prep for his like role in Spider Man, like the first movie. That was her high school, so he ended up going to that one. And then a show for two is kind of based on that kind of vibe, like famous guy coming to your high school, blah blah blah. And I started it because I got it delivered to my like home in Spain, like when I was back home. Um, that's not okay. Like, guys, no, I don't like that statement. But, sorry, I just thought about it. And I was like, that sounds it sounds super stuck up. I'm sorry. Yeah, like because you can't get a show for two anywhere basically outside of the U.S. or Canada because it's not. She's not. I don't think she has international publishers, or her books haven't gotten as high recognition that like to get it here is like $50, and I'm like, no, like I'm not spending that money. If I can get it for 15 in a different country, I'm gonna do that. So I finally got it and I read it, and I couldn't. I'm like I'm halfway through it, but like I can't start it again because it's hard. Or like I got Cleopatra and Frankenstein because everyone said it was really good. And I was in Portugal for vacation with my family, and and like in Lisboa, yeah. And have you guys heard of the oldest like working bookstore in the excuse me in the world? It's in Lisbon. Excuse me, sorry, I don't know what's going on right now. Um, so obviously because I'm like the big reader in like my family, I was like, okay, so I have to buy a book here because like we're in the oldest bookstore in the world. Like this is just kind of what's expected of me. So I did it, and then I ended up getting that book. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure that everything's still recording, and it is, but it's still kind of stressing me out. I got Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which I'm like, really happy about because it's like, it seems to be quite good, and I like how it's very succinct and it's very like straight to the point. But I think it's just because like I just don't attach myself to the characters yet, which is like it's making it so hard for me to enjoy reading because I'm really just trying to get there. What is this? Sorry, another book opened and I don't even know. Anyways, and then my favorite book of all time, which they didn't have a Kindle Unlimited. I had the hard copy back at home. But when my parents moved, my mom asked me, she's like, "Do you want these books?" And I said yes to this book, but I think it might have just gotten lost in a pile, and then she ended up giving it away. Which, like, obviously fair enough. Like, I don't live there anymore. But I like came home and I was like, "Mom, where's the book? Where's the book?" And I think she gave it away, which like I like low key sucked, but I was like, you know what, it's okay. Like I'll buy it digital copy that way. Like I always have it. Like I bought money for this digitally at least. And it's called Not Here to Be Liked by Michelle Qua. If that's how you say her name. Uh, Quach, Quach. I think I don't know. Michelle Quach. Not Here to Be Liked. And I remember reading this book when I was 13, 14, and I thought it was a masterpiece. There is something about it that has stuck in my head for the past like 10 years where I really liked it. I thought it was genuinely one of the best things ever mass like produced. I needed it everywhere. I couldn't like so much so that I'm currently 19 years old and I think back to like my 14-year-old self and I'm like, I need that book again. Like it had genuinely like a cultural revamp on me because like I read the book and basically it's about this girl. She is Vietnamese, ethnically Chinese. Like her parents like immigrated from China to Vietnam, like ancestors did, and then vice versa. Or like I think grandparents did. Sorry, I'm like really trying to remember what happened, but I don't remember. And then the children were basically like the two daughters were born in the States. And basically it just follows the life of this girl, the youngest daughter, who is known for being like kind of like a bitch. Like she's kind of aggressive, like very much like does not like anybody at her school, does not like them. She wants to be a journalist so bad, like cutthroat, all these type of things. Um and like so much so to the point like she's running for president of her like journalism club at like the newspaper at her high school, and then this guy who like joined the journalist newspaper. Why do I keep saying journalism? The newspaper like less than a year ago also started running, and then he ended up winning. And she was like, "This is some feminist like so this is some misogynist bullshit. Like what the fuck?" Like, sorry for swearing, but like that was basically like what she was trying to do. Like she was saying like this was just not a fair thing that was done. Like he doesn't deserve it. Like she's been doing all these things, and I was like, I remember reading this and I was like, she's very very like very strong character, and I kind of resembled with her a lot because I was like, she's very strong. She's very open, like very not open minded, very strong minded. And she has her opinions set straight, which I respected because I honestly think that like when I was her age, like when I was reading this, like when I was like 15, I was like, this is basically me, except I like wasn't as mean to people just because I'm a people pleaser at heart, which is unfortunate. But like I really, really tried to like, I resonated with her. I was like, wow, I really, like I push people away because I need to be doing the best and blah blah blah. Like I need to do all these things. And it was kind of like this thing where I was like, she's not apologizing for being what she like for believing she deserves stuff. And it was like, it really stuck with me. So I was like, I think growing up and like reading all these books where it's like like they were always like rebellious and they're always like oh my god, I'm like the strongest person, blah blah blah, all these things. I like thought that I wasn't allowed to do it, especially I think because a lot of these books, like the only, like you said, like rebellious kid in any of the books I read, like in my early ages was like Judy Moody, but Loki, like she was just kind of like bratty. Hey, and like you're a 6 year old girl, like as you should be bratty, like whatever. But it was that kind of thing where like I really like read that book and I was like, you know what, I need to start letting myself like deserve what I want. And then I came back, I bought the book because I was like, you know what, I deserve to have the book on my Kindle. Like I'm gonna reread it. I read it within like 2 days. Like I sat, oh my god, I sat in St. Kilda Pier, um, in like 3 weeks ago, and it was like a really cloudy day. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna read this book. No one's gonna be there because it was cloudy. The sun ended up coming up, and I have this really bad tan line on my arm because I was wearing a long sleeve and I had to like roll it up. Um, but I read the whole book and I finished it and I sat there and I was like, I don't know what to read next. Like I had that feeling of loss because I was like, this book meant so much to me and I've been amping it up in my life, like in my head for so much that like for me to start a new book felt disrespectful. And I've been chasing that feeling since because I haven't been able to find a book that's done that to me. Like when I first got my Kindle, the first book I downloaded on it was called The Secret Midwife, which follows a midwife who was a midwife during the Nazi regime, and she basically would birth a bunch of Jewish babies and save them from, being arrested and all these things. Um, and I hadn't touched it in a year, and then last week I got to uni early, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read on my Kindle. I sat down and I started reading it, and I was like, wait, this is really good, and I haven't gotten myself to pick it up since because I know it's a very heavy topic, and I don't know if I can necessarily emotionally handle it right now. Um, and that's okay. Like I'm not gonna like beat myself over that. It's like I need to let myself just feel the emotions. But I realize that I really love reading to the point where so much so like to the point where like I miss being a child and like like this is where it's like I want to get off my phone so much because I want to chase that feeling of just reading a book all weekend long, doing nothing and reading a book. And this weekend I want to do that, but obviously, like, because it's gonna be rainy and kind of coldish, and I'm really excited for winter because I can just lay in bed and read a book. But this weekend is also race weekend, so that's not happening because I need to be watching. I need to see what's going on with my team. To anyone F1 fans out here listening, I wish you luck this weekend. But then again, like this is coming out on the Monday after the Grand Prix, so you know what? I hope Williams does well. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope Lewis Hamilton places within the top five because I want him to have a good run. I don't want Max on the podium at all. Like I want him off the podium. You mean top five, but not podium. And I want Williams to be in the top 10. Both of them. I have like such a strong attachment to Williams. I literally like I think of them. I'm like they're like both of them are my uncles. It's really bad. I have like a really bad parasocial relationship. Like Alex Albin is literally my uncle, and Carlos Sainz is literally my uncle. Like, guys, like I'm literally like the Asian child of the two of them. I mean, like obviously I'm not Thai, but lived there long enough to feel like I am. Anyways, back to the reading part. But yeah, like I think that right now it's like I think with book talk, which has like honestly like I think people don't get me wrong. It is a very book talk is very like yeah, it can be very bad. But I also think that like we need to we need to give grace to people who like choose to actually be like, you know what, it's bad, but everyone needs a place to start. And I think that we can't yuck people's yums because that's not fair. I can recognize that a Colleen Hoover book is not for me. Like I can say that for certain. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not reading this. And if someone enjoys it, you know what? I might be like, interesting, but I'll let them do it because I think at the end of the day, we've gotten to this point where we just judge people for everything they do. Like, I'm allowed to judge myself, but if you're judging me through the screen, you're just as bad as me. I'm sorry. Like, you're not better than the normal person. And then I think it's really important for us to recognize that, like, hey, girl, like, it's okay to like what you like. And I don't know. I don't know where I'm really going with this episode. I think you can see I'm kind of just going through this like whole emotional turmoil. I'm just like remembering that I'm a kid at heart, but I'm also growing up, which is like that's the hardest thing is recognizing that I'm currently growing and I'm getting older. I'm turning 20 this year, and it's gonna be hard for me to say like, yeah, I still read young adult because it's you're not supposed to. But I think that you like what you like, and if it makes you feel good about yourself and it makes you feel like you're actually really enjoying what you're doing, I think there's no shame in doing it. And if you're gonna be shameful about it, I think that you don't deserve your opinion to be shared publicly. I was gonna say something, I don't really know what's going on with that, honestly. I'm sorry guys. But yeah, I think that everyone needs to pick up a book. You know what? Okay, let's do this, guys. If you're at home listening to this, if you're on the bus, if you're on the tram, if you're on the train, wherever you are listening to this, think about a book that you want to read, a book that you have at home that you've been meaning to touch, and that you've been wanting to actually engage with. And start tonight. Read a page, read 4 pages of it, read as many pages as you want of it, but allow yourself to actually engage with something that you want to engage with. And don't make yourself feel as if it's a bad thing to engage with it, because at the end of the day, when else are you gonna engage with it? Oh my, I'm saying engage so much. But yeah, when else are you gonna let yourself read a book when you want to? You know, so pick up that book and start reading tonight, because I'm sure you're gonna feel so much better about reading that book than scrolling on TikTok or doom scrolling something that you really shouldn't be doom scrolling on. But yeah, that is my thing with books. When I host this, like when I hold my next segment, I will do a book review, because ideally by the next time I do this is gonna be in what, like a week or two, maybe 3. I want to be finished at least with one of the books I've started reading. And I know that it's gonna be very hard to keep myself to it, but it's something I really want to prioritize, and spending alone time with myself. And I think that in the long run, it will actually help me like settle down and feel better. So yeah, that is. I just talked about books for like 25 minutes, if not more. But I have like, I have such big admiration for people who write books, because it's like you're managing to put your entire like soul into a piece of writing, so someone else can enjoy it and feel just. I'm like getting emotional over books. Like, guys, like I'm like I'm sorry, I do stop doing that. I really do love reading, and I think that we don't give it enough credit in this day and age. You know, be the quirky person on the tram, like the book, and they're like, oh wait, she's kind of cool and different. It's like, yeah, girl, like yes you are, like settle business. Anyways, um, what I want to talk about after this is on the complete opposite of touching grass. Because I'm chronically online, I am pissed off because emergency intercom has been on a break for so long, guys. Like I can't do this. Like I can't. Like it's sorry. I'm actually pissed off though. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Because they don't. We don't know when they're coming back. Slushy Noobs went on a break for a month, and then they went on their break, and then right after they came back, and they like, after they had their fine, they're like, you know what, we're back. You know, we're here again. Emergency intercom was like, actually, we're leaving now, and now I'm really pissed off because like, what am I supposed I don't know what to watch anymore. I'm not even joking. Like I will go onto YouTube. That's why I'm watching so much Fern and so much educational stuff, because like I really don't know what to watch, because it's either I watch super educational things or I end up watching like the most brain rot, but at least they're funny. Like Drew and yeah, you're never gonna listen to this, you're never gonna hear this. And this is just me saying it into the world because I really am about trying this. I'm gonna meet you guys. Drew and you're Josiah Kai, I am going to meet you. I am going to meet you. I'm going to meet you. That being said, can you come back? Like this is like I'm having this over. Like I'm getting pissed off. Like I need to read. I need to like I need you to come right now and just, okay. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, guys. Like I've really hit the oh oh baby girl. What? Sorry. I've become so chronically online to the point where it's like I not having them is like kind of stressing me out. Like brother. Anyways, that's just like a quick little thing for me to be like I really miss them and I hope they come back soon. And I hope if I mean they're not listening to this, but I know they're doing good and I know that they're happy and with their family and friends and everybody. I just, I wish you were here. Sorry, I'm gonna open what's it called letterbox, because guys, I decided this year I was gonna be more into letterbox. um my roommate's a film student, like media com film, like screen student, so obviously I'm trying to get more into it. Like I'm trying to make sure that, like, like, why not use it? It doesn't hurt anybody. I just get my rushes for the 2 weeks and I can see like how many movies I've like, it's fun. Like what, like why not? um so I want to show you guys what's on, like what I recently watched and what's on my watch list, because honestly, like, there's some pretty cool things in here, but I'm like, this would be really fun. But I'm trying to download this like program because, like I said, we got new equipment and now I don't know what they are. Anyways, here is my letterbox. So I recently watched Sing. Last night we watched Sing. Honestly, like Loki, like fire. Like, don't get me wrong, it has its moments. It has its moments, but whatever. I tried watching The Anchorman, did not enjoy it. Sorry, like it just wasn't for me. Like I realized, I was like, it's for some people, not for me though. I didn't really like it. I rewatched Mamma Mia. I watched Extremely Wicked, the movie about Ted Bundy from the point of view of his then girlfriend. I also, what's the saying, that one. The Ted Bundy one. It wasn't like I didn't watch it because I was like, I want to. I like honestly just saw that as like a review, and I was like, wait, like why not? And then I realized it was a Ted Bundy thing, and I was like, I don't really like it because I don't really like Ted. I mean, obviously, I don't. No one likes Ted Bundy, but I really like the glorification of him. But I really liked Lily Collins' performance in that. I watched September 5th in the cinema. That was the last movie I watched in the cinema, and it's kind of, I want to watch. They're having a Clueless showing tomorrow at Village, and I really want to go to that because I really miss the cinema. I watched September 5th. It was like fine. I think the cinematography was really beautiful, and like they got the story out, but they try to be so apolitical to the point where it's like, oh, you're making a political choice. Like, oh, okay. I also watched Flaming Hot, which is on Prime. It's about the like origin of Flaming Hot Cheetos. And I was like kind of excited. I was like, wait, like this is gonna be kind of good, blah blah blah. And at first I was really into it, and then I started reading reviews and stuff, and then found out that they basically just like, I mean, as all movies do about anybody who isn't white and who actually produces one like a very successful product, they basically like whitewashed the whole thing and didn't give him the respect that he deserved and like all the hardships that he had to face throughout the periods, and they very much glorified it, and it did suck. And I found out that the actual creator of Flaming Hot Cheetos, which is, let me find his name because I want to do him justice. Um, Richard Montañez. He actually produced his own autobiography, so I really want to read it so I can actually learn about like his actual story and like make sure that I'm not like, I'm doing justice and I'm actually like learning about the history of it, the product. Anyway, so here's my watch list. Funny Games, which is I think an Austrian movie about these two psychotic men taking like. Anyways, I got a really cool like snippet of it on like TikTok, and I was like, wait, this is actually very interesting. Like, because the main character breaks the third wall like all the time, and I'm like, I really like it when characters do that. I think it's really freaky, and I really enjoy it. So that's that one. Also, a movie called Khamon Khamon, which my friend watched, and then I read the synopsis, and I was like, wait, this is I'm kind of into this. So I want to watch that. I really want to watch No Other Land, the Oscar winner. Um, I don't, for some reason I like just haven't, and I know it's really good, so I really want to watch that. I want to watch Spit. It's in cinema right now. Is it Spit? I actually have no idea. Slit. No idea what it's called. I want to watch Birdcage, or The Birdcage, because it's a classic and I still haven't watched it. Let me see what else here. What's this? Oh, Last Stop Larima, Murder Down Under, which is, I mean, okay, they call it The Outback, which like I don't really like, but my old tutor, who I like extremely respect, she said that it's quite good, so I really want to watch that. And then another one I really want to watch is Christine, which is about the television reporter who committed suicide on live TV, and I think not that it's gonna be a very good movie, like in the sense that it's like the story is obviously very very traumatizing and very very sad, but I really want to see if they do her justice and I want to see how they portray it, because I mean it's back in the 70s and I obviously I have no history about that. And then the last movie I wanted to watch was The Correspondent. It's not coming out yet. It's coming out in like, I'm getting really cold in this room, guys. Like, oh, I really should have brought a jacket. Like, it's kind of. Anyways, I'm gonna say now I'm just like lost and insecure. You found me, you found me. Sorry. Um, the Correspondent. There we go. Yeah, I just like I really. I think it's I didn't really hear about this on this like the actual story about the actual Correspondent because I was a child most likely and I just didn't follow the news that well. But finding out about movies about that, I was like, this is actually really interesting. Um, and yeah, honestly, there's quite a good few movies that are coming out. Like one of them Days, I haven't watched it yet. I heard it's okay, like it's good, but it's a little bit disappointing. But it's still a good movie. But I don't know. I like Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy. I had a really weird Bridget Jones phase over some break, and I like watched all three of them like back to back to back. To the point where it's like I don't really want to watch this one just because I think it's weird that Bridget is like 50 years old or like 60 years old with like two children, and like she's kind of into this like 20-year-old guy. Then again, that might not actually be the plot. That's just kind of what I think it is. So we're deciding about that. But yeah, I'm really excited for this year. I think that, we have this entire semester, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that I am, reading as much as I can and not consuming as much media as I can, but developing my media taste and my media literacy to actually engage with both nonfiction and fiction pieces of work that are not only enjoyable but informative. Especially like right now, watching Nemesis has actually made me very, very into the federal election, which I wouldn't necessarily be just because I don't understand Australian politics. Like I've tried my best to understand it, and it does just kind of confuses me. Like all of that. That being said, I'm interested in looking into that more and seeing how it's gonna work. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm looking through this year with a new mindset in place, and I'm trying to look at what's best for my brain and what's best for my body and my soul. I sound like a fitness guru, but I'm really trying to just make sure that like I'm putting myself back to where I need to be and taking myself out and like treating myself to the best I can possibly be taking. What the hell am I saying? I want to put myself first, and I think I deserve to put myself first. Not that I've been through hardship recently, but I've you don't have to go through hardship to treat yourself good, and I think that's an important thing to remember. Is let yourself enjoy what you want because you're allowed to feel good about whatever you're consuming. So, as I wrap up this episode, I just want to remind everybody if you can and you have the time, try and read a book, try and consume a new piece of media, try and, you know, elongate. What's it called? Um, Open your horizon to new types of media that you're consuming. And I think that if you can take that break from media, I'm really trying to get back into reading, and I will keep us updated with that. But try and read a book. Try and read a book tonight. Try and listen to some new music. Try and listen to a new podcast. Try watching new YouTube videos that aren't the same thing you've been watching, that actually have some benefits to consuming it. Try to listen to some music. I've listened to new music. I've really gotten into electro light orchestra. I've been listening to them all day yesterday. Like Sweet Talking Woman has been my favorite at the moment, and I think it was Wild West Hero. That's the other one. But yeah, like just let yourself feel everything you want to feel, and like all the expression you want to engage with. And I'm sure that soon enough you'll be feeling much better. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for coming back to engage with me. I really do appreciate it. Obviously we're gonna try the podcast this semester is gonna be kind of trying new things out, and we're gonna be trying a lot of things, but I will always be back for this because not only none of you guys want this, but I need this, so I'm gonna be back. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. please give our socials a check. Monash Max, I believe, is our Instagram name. I'm never good at this, guys. Yeah, Monash Max is our Instagram name. Also our TikTok and Facebook, I believe. You know, I'm excited to see what this semester takes us. So yeah, if you have any podcast ideas, any questions, whatever, send us a DM. My DMs are always open. That being said, if you send it to me in requests, I may never check them because I always kind of forget requests are a place. But yeah, I'll put my socials and my letterbox down there. Give me a follow. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me this week, and I hope to see you guys soon. Have a great week ahead. Have a great day. I don't know when you're watching this, but yeah, thank you guys so much for joining and listening. Bye bye.